Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at 3 altcoins which I've recently found using some of the tools over on Muchu.ninja. And it really couldn't be coming at a better time because right now the markets all seem to be falling for altcoins. In fact, right here you can see Engine. Now this is one of the coins which I predicted to do very well this year, right at the beginning of the year when I picked my 5 coins for 2020. This was one of them, as well as Chainlink. In fact, if you just scroll out, you can see Engine, by the way, has actually performed pretty well this year. Another one was Chainlink, which again, from the beginning of the year, has done extremely well. It's only in the last couple of days when everyone is basically selling off alts to buy Bitcoin right now because they've just realized that Bitcoin isn't going to go down to $1,000 like so many people here on YouTube and other platforms were all predicting, hoping that it was going to go down. Obviously that was never ever going to actually happen, and I do hope that you, just like me, did not actually sell off all of your Bitcoin at that point and have just been hodling through as best you can, or maybe making some money on the alts. Now today we're going to be talking about 3 which I think is going to be doing very well over the next, or for the end of this year anyway, in 2020. So let's get straight into it now with coin number 1. Okay, so here we have GoChain, and GoChain has been around for a couple of years now. I think they ICO'd over in 2017. In fact, no, quick bit of fact checking there, it wasn't 2017, it was actually 2018. Where's that written? There we go. So pre-ICO started 1st of May 2018. So these guys haven't actually even seen a proper Bitcoin bull market just yet. They were born in the crypto winter, but still received a rating of 4.0 from ICO Bench at that time. What these guys have done is basically they got bored waiting for Ethereum 2.0 to come out, and what they did is they took the Ethereum code base and created Ethereum 2.0 all by themselves and have called it GoChain. So it is basically Ethereum, and that means that you can take your old ERC20 tokens and run them straight away on GoChain instead. And if you do that, you're going to be getting 1,300 transactions per second rather than just 13 transactions per second. Taking a look at the website here, you can see straight away that these guys are looking for enterprise level businesses basically. So they've created, on top of their existing Ethereum network, although they're calling it GoChain, basically it's Ethereum, but they've also created this thing called GoTrace. So just for logistics really, I haven't looked too much into it, but I should imagine if you're in that type of business, it could be quite good for tracking delivery of certain items, and perhaps if you had a big warehouse like Amazon, you could track all of your employees and where they are around the warehouse, or something of that nature. Okay, so I think it's pretty good. They have actually created stuff despite it being born in crypto winter, and it does seem pretty good. So they're trusted by Lenovo and Microsoft. Big claim. I wonder just how much there really is in that. But from a developer's perspective, if you were looking at ERC20 tokens and you're working on a project which doesn't really want to be restricted by like 13 transactions per second, and the problem like they had with CryptoKitties, whereas if one of those ERC20 tokens get really crazy and it just downs the entire network, well, you're not going to have this problem here because there's like 1,300 transactions per second, which isn't massive today. You know, there's lots of coins that will do like 4,000 or 5,000 transactions per second, but it's good enough, and certainly much better than what you get with Ethereum. So a very good rival to Ethereum right now. And I should imagine over the next year, if we do keep having these delays with the rollout of Ethereum 2.0, there could be a lot of people which will find this as an alternative, and it could actually gain a lot of traction and maybe take some of that market share away from Ethereum, particularly because it's so easy to seamlessly go from your existing ERC20 contract and just bring it over to GoChain. So I think this is definitely one to watch. From a trading perspective, this one is just like a lot of other altcoins right now, absolutely dirt cheap today, but that goes with pretty much everything out there right now. I probably wouldn't want to be buying it today, maybe put in a cheeky really low bid, but really wait out for the next couple of days. It'll probably sort of level off and then begin rising again. So also looking at the MACD, we are still a little bit over the top on the MACD and haven't quite yet come into the oversold bit on the RSI. So there could be some sort of scope for it to continue down, or at least level off, as these oscillators will sort of level out and go down and come back up. So yeah, I think from a technical perspective, it's looking pretty good. This coin is also tradable on Binance, so it does mean that you're not going to get that pre-Binance boost when it does get listed. But of course, you know, if you do trade on Binance, it is there right now to trade. And I've got to say, it's definitely one to have a look at. Coin number 2 is Dero. Dero is a DAG. I believe it means a directed acyclic graph, something like that. Basically, rather than being a conventional blockchain where you have one blockchain and then the next block gets added and so on and so forth into one big long single chain of blocks of transactions, a DAG, and bear in mind I am a developer, but this stuff is completely out of my league. I've got no idea how this really works. I haven't looked into it that much, I must say, but just on the way that I have looked into it briefly, it's mind-blowing. I do not understand how this can possibly remain secure and keep all of the sort of blockchain in consensus, if you like, as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's just one big block. So as we see down here, this is the Dag blockchain, similar to what IOTA would use and other similar projects. A normal blockchain would just be these here. This is sort of block 1, block 2, block 3. A DAG, it's just a complete cluster of all kinds of blocks connecting to all different sorts of other blocks, and it's just a big old mess. But on the good side to that, you do have no orphan blocks and also no soft forks as well. So there are some positives to that big old mess of a blockchain that you have. Obviously it's not a blockchain, it's a directed acyclic graph. This, just like IOTA, is really aimed at this sort of Internet of Things crowd. However, one of the things that I do really like about Dero, in fact, the thing that really sort of attracted me to it, was the fact that it uses a sort of one CPU to one vote mining algorithm. So it's quite cool. In fact, just take a look at what it says here. So the team is pleased to introduce our new proof of work mining algorithm that aims to reduce the performance advantage of GPU, ASIC, and FPGA hardware to allow competitive CPU mining. Once again, possibly a ASIC resistant CPU mineable type coin, which you can mine on a laptop or anything, literally anything, right? You can just mine it with a CPU. Sounds absolutely fantastic, and I will certainly be giving that a go myself. But before we move on and take a look at the chart and see kind of like where this is right now, one of the other things that I really like about this is the security. We're sort of like 51% ASIC resist, no, 51% attack proof is what I mean there. They've used Golang, so like it says here, written from scratch using Golang. And Golang was created by Google to be like super fast and very secure. So yeah, it's a great language to use for a cryptocurrency like this. However, right now it is pretty expensive. So even though you can see that it is kind of like quite far down right now on the sort of upward trend which it's on, you can also see it's really over the top here, crossing downwards on the MACD, and also, you know, you can see it's been high over here on the RSI and it's now just heading straight back down. And this here is the 120-day moving average, which it might well come all the way down, maybe even down to this level down here. So yeah, it's been up a lot, but it could go down a lot further. In fact, I've just noticed as well, right here on the MACD, you can see this was the high here on the MACD, and then the second high where it went even higher in price, it was actually lower down on the MACD. So that difference there is called divergence, which means almost definitely, in fact, I would say absolutely, the price is about to go down and get very tasty indeed. So the first coin we saw, which was GoChain, is very good alternative to Ethereum, and you can just switch over your ERC contracts really easily. Dero is not yet on Binance, so if it is listed in the future, you're going to see that go up quite significantly. And I do think it's a very good blockchain, and I'm certainly going to be mining it as well very soon. So the last of these 3 coins I'm sharing with you today is this one here, which is Skycoin, and it is by far, in my opinion, the best. In fact, this is one that I really do wish that I knew about a lot sooner. Now, if we just go backwards, the other way around on this one, we're actually going to take a look at the price chart first. So you can see it recently went extremely high, all the way up over, what is that, like $1 or something in Bitcoin value there. And now it's plummeted really crazy low today. I can't believe how low it's gone. And now probably sometime it's just going to sort of level off and be a bit more reasonably priced. Right here you can see on the MACD as well, it's totally over the top and just coming down there on the RSI. So you would expect it to come down over the next few weeks, which is going to be great for accumulation. But why would you want to accumulate Skycoin? Well, I'll be honest, I think I might have heard of it a couple of years ago and sort of fobbed it off, and fair enough, you know, everything was going down through the sort of crypto winter and they weren't really promoting at all during that period because, like all projects, they were suffering financially. However, despite the suffering, these guys have just kept on creating new products and innovating all of the time. So check out what they've got right here, just under hard wallet. And this is a hardware wallet. This is called the Sky Wallet, and you can buy this right now. So basically just something which they created themselves based on, they took Tracer and all the other sort of crypto wallets that are on the market. They found faults and flaws with those, which they published, and then they went ahead and created their own, which is right here called the Sky Wallet. Apparently it's more secure, but they all say that, don't they? So yeah, they have actually created their very own hardware wallet, which I don't think any other sort of crypto project you see them doing at all. Also, if you're into development stuff and geeky techie stuff, then you see they've got the Sky Wallet HDK. And if you have a click on this, it's basically a larger version of that wallet, a bit like a Raspberry Pi for kids for learning how to do computer programming stuff. It's basically their wallet enlarged to make it easier for programmers to figure out how to get their coins onto the Sky hardware wallet. So it's pretty good for developers to work out how to use it and stuff. I think that's cool. And then they also have another product here called the Sky Miner. And don't be fooled by the name, it is called a Sky Miner. However, this doesn't actually work like a conventional miner. And we'll get back to that in just a second. But first of all, look how glorious it looks. And this is an actual product which you can buy and I've shipped to you right now. And this is kind of like what it looks like, okay? So basically it's a bunch of stuff and a router. And the reason why it's got a router in it is because this isn't just a bunch of stuff to try and make some money mining a coin. This Sky Miner actually provides internet coverage and allows people to access the internet. And for all the people that access the internet using your Sky Miner, you earn Skycoin. So that is how it kind of mines. It's kind of like a miner, but rather than just creating currency, you actually earn the currency by providing the service of allowing people to access the internet. And that is quite a unique and innovative sort of product, which I haven't seen any other crypto projects coming out with anywhere near the amount of different hardware products which are coming out of Skycoin. I think that is incredible for them to be so creative, so innovative during this really bad period for most altcoins. I think they've done really well. I can only imagine what's going to happen now as we're booming into this new crypto Bitcoin bull market, just what on earth they're going to come up with. So looking forward to that. Now, let's just go back to that Sky Miner a minute and explain more about why I think that is so cool. So if we scroll down on the main page here on the website, you get to a bit where it says more photos, and you get to see this. This is the bi-quad Yagi antenna. So this is something that you can use with your Sky Miner to broadcast your network over a much wider area so that everybody can just access the internet through their mobile phones or their laptops or whatever. And you would then earn your Skycoin by providing that service to all the people which are using the internet through your SkyMiner. Now, it's no secret to anybody which has read my little ebook that I wrote called the Bitcoin Multiplier Method while I was out there in the Philippines. They will know that I have spent quite a bit of time in the Philippines traveling around, and me and my wife, our sort of future aim once we've gone through this Bitcoin cycle is to buy our own hotels out in the Philippines, because it's a very nice little business. It's sort of like a retirement business. That will be us, put our feet up, and the hotel should take us through. Now, it's pretty good that the Bitcoin halving and the bull cycle is just really sort of aimed to be topping off maybe next year or just after that, as we've just gone through this pandemic and it's really hit hard the hotel industry. And I should imagine, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that about a year from now we're going to see a lot of hotels out there maybe coming onto the market just in time for me to be cashing in some Bitcoin and buying some cheap hotels. So that would be great. Everyone's got to have a dream, right? Now, the problem out in the Philippines, the Philippines has like 7,000 odd islands. In fact, just check it. Yeah, it's got 7,641 islands. Now, I've not been to all of those islands. I've been to quite a few, but I do know that when you get onto these small islands, even the very popular ones with very big hotels, ones that have McDonald's and other things on, they have no internet whatsoever. So even when you go into a McDonald's, you can't pay for it using a Visa or a MasterCard. You have to pay cash, because there's absolutely no internet whatsoever. Now, if you had something like one of these SkyMiners, either set up in your hotel, maybe one day that might be the case, then you could supply everybody, not just in your hotel, but the entire island. You could supply it with internet access. Even the McDonald's and the banks and all these other sort of shops and stores, commercial stuff, could all be running through your SkyMiner. Now, as I said, there's 7,000 odd islands there in the Philippines, and then you've got all the rest of the world as well. I think this could be absolutely awesome. Plus, now, just to top off the coolness, not only have they created this SkyMiner system, they've created their own hardware wallet, but they've also created their own custom code, their own coding language to secure all of this, to stop anybody from being hacking into their system. They created their own coding language called CX. And right here you can see the CX programming language by Skycoin. This, as I mentioned earlier, from the other coin, which was based on Golang. This was also taken from Golang, but they've removed some features of Golang and added in some features for security as well, and made it more aimed at being a sort of blockchain coding language. So it's great. It is absolutely awesome. This Skycoin and the guys behind that, when it comes to innovation and creating products, whatever the weather, bull market, bear market, they seem to be very, very active. In fact, the guy behind it, from what I've heard, has been in and around Bitcoin for about 8 to 10 years, and he's also been on the advisory board of many different projects over those years as well. So he knows his way around blockchain and he understands the problems with the blockchain, and obviously is a great inventor of all this different stuff as well. So I think it's pretty cool and definitely one to keep a very, very close eye on. Now, it is already on Binance. So the only one here where you're going to get the Binance boost is going to be Dero. But for me, I think Skycoin is definitely one I'm going to be looking at very, very, very closely over the next couple of years. I do hope you've enjoyed this little video today, and I've been contacted over on our Telegram group by many people asking all about going short and how to go short, probably influenced by the market that we've just seen there today. So in tomorrow's video, I'm going to be doing a video just on that, how to actually take up short positions and profit when the market does go down. That's coming tomorrow. If you don't want to miss out, then you know what you got to do. Subscribe, and I shall see you then.